What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 109. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Say hello to the people, Connor.
Ow.
Howdy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a regular viewer of the show, you'll notice things are different. I've moved. I'm in a different city. So me and Connor are no longer face-to-face. We're doing things remotely over Discord, so there might be some connection issues. I don't know. I haven't tested this new internet out that well, so there might be
Lots
some cutting.
personal connection.
Did you say loss of personal connection?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, in the sense that we can't bounce off of each other.
So sorry about that, guys, in advance.
Yeah. I literally, I have to look over here to my television to even see Connor. So Connor can look at me all live long day, but I gotta go over there to see him. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, every week, me and Connor, we come to you. We give you the new news in the video game industry. We each come to you with two topics, two pennies, if you will, and we give you our 2 cents on them. Now, you can find this podcast every week, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/ did I say the time but not the day? Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/ 2pennygamescast, and mainstream podcast services of your choice. Look us up, give us a nice little thumbs up, subscribe, follow, share it with a friend. That would really, really help out. And you can now find us over on TikTok. TikTok.com/ 2pennygames. Go follow us over there and check out all the cool little TikToks and stuff that are here on youtube.com/ 2pennygamescast as well. There will be a new one going up for my personal game of the year here soon. But until then, you can also catch us over at twitch.tv/ 2pennygames and see some gamers have some true gamer moments whenever, one of us has time to stream these days.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, never for sure. Connor, let's drop some sense on them. Let's get right into it. Topic number 1. My first penny of the day. World's biggest mod site bans mods replacing pride flags. Quote, "We don't want to and won't argue this with you." This is by Rich Stanton over at PC Gamer. Spider-Man Remastered recently launched on PC, and Insomniac's excellent web 'em up instantly attracted the attention of modders. This unfortunately included an individual who took offense at the game's rendition of New York City, including some pride flags among the absolute plethora of American ones. They created a mod that removed the pride flags, replacing them with the stars and stripes, then uploaded it to Nexus Mods using a sock puppet account called Mike Hawk. Nexus Mods is arguably the most popular and centralized mod database online, with a nice, clean look, a good community, and all the functionality a PC gamer could wish for. Nexus swiftly moved the mod and banned the modder's sock puppet and main account. Removed the mod. The sanction led to some community drama about whether someone innocent had been punished. The people who run Nexus Mods subsequently decided enough is enough when it comes to this stuff, and have addressed what went on in a new blog that sets out clear guidelines for the future. Quote, "The fact the user needed to make a sock puppet like a coward to upload the mod showed their intent to troll and that they knew it would not be allowed," said the site. Quote, "Had they not been a coward and had they used their main account instead, we would have simply removed the mod and told them that we did not want to host it, only banning them if they re-uploaded it again after being fairly warned. The creation of the sock puppet removed any doubt and made it a very easy decision for us. Both the sock puppet account and the user's main account have been banned." In terms of future mods that try to replace pride flags in any game, Nexus Mods statement says, quote, "If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity and or diversity, then we will take action against it. The same goes for people attempting to troll other users with mods deliberately to cause a rise. For our part, we will endeavor to do a better job of moderating our website to this ethos ourselves." Nexus Mod says it's not trying to set itself up as an authority on what modders can and can't do, but as a private company, it can and will choose what content it wants to host. The site previously had taken down similar content quietly, but today's blog draws a line in the sand that modders know not to cross. Quote, "We don't want to and won't argue this with you," said Nexus. Quote, "We've now explained our stance, and we won't be providing a platform for you to distort our position in order to feed an irrational and paranoid narrative. You can do that elsewhere. where we won't care enough to read it. If this policy upsets you, if we've broken some moral code of conduct as a business that you can't accept, then please delete your account and move on, as we will. Nice.
One word.
Nice.
1984. An absolute breach of our human rights.
Shut the fuck up.
I condemn Nexus Mods for this decision.
He's kidding.
And I won't be using their service anymore. No,
You don't use their service to begin with.
no, I used it for Skyrim mods.
We did. We did. Connor, I've used Nexus Mods. I tried to do it when I played KOTOR to get that game running a little better. Couldn't figure it out because I'm an idiot. But Nexus Mods is a really good site, and with a lot of useful helpers in the comments and stuff on that and in the blogs on that site. So easily the biggest modding website out there, and I for one, I'm all about this. I saw the headlines circle around when the flags in Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered were being replaced with American flags, and I was like, all right, come on now, really, guys? And to see Nexus Mods be like, no, we're not doing this. We know what you're doing. We're not doing this. Absolutely not allowed. Let people be people, man. Why do you got to be such a fucking dickhead about it? And also, in Spider-Man Remastered, you're moving around so much and so fast that, like, how the fuck are you even taking the time to be like, oh, there's one of those horrendous pride like, I don't even fucking... I know they're in Miles Morales. I couldn't tell you that they were in the original game or not. I would have guessed yes, because Insomniac is hella inclusive, and they had Black Lives Matter murals in the Miles Morales game, so I would have guessed there were pride flags in the original Spider-Man, but I don't fucking know. Like, so, like, how, like, if it's really, like, that big of a fucking issue just to see, like, some random-ass flags that just promote inclusivity, but you don't let the gays be gay. Like, fuck off. Shut the fuck up and move, and you don't deserve a platform.
They're triggered. That's bad. Basically, I mean, it's definitely too much time on someone's hands, and now they can't do it no more.
Just the most
so sad.
Just the most waste. Like, that's a big waste of time to just dig into code, and they're reusing the American flag asset, so it's just copy and paste. But like, why? Why? Anyways,
we don't have to deal with them anymore.
No, we don't. No. Stuff like that is just annoying because now you're just going out of your way to fucking be a piece of shit. So good on you, Nexus Mods. Love the line in the sand. I'm all about it. Connor, moving on to story number 2. Your first penny of the day. Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, rights bought by video game super publisher Embracer. This is by Luke Plunkett at Kotaku. The Embracer Group, who are slowly buying any and every video game publisher and studio on the market, just announced that they have purchased Middle-earth Enterprises, the company that owns the big and small screen rights to most of J.R.R. Tolkien's most important works, including Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Some background, and please bear with me because this gets complicated, and bear with us viewers because it's going to be some reading, but follow along because it's complicated and we need to get the story right. Middle-earth Enterprises used to be a division of the Saul Zaentz Company, a Hollywood production studio that in 1976 managed to pick up the rights to pretty much everything to do with Tolkien except the publication of the books themselves. Those rights were used to make the 1978 animated feature, and ever since have only been licensed out to other companies, an operation overseen by Middle-earth Enterprises and never fully sold. That means everything from Peter Jackson's films to EA's video games were only expensively licensing the Lord of the Rings rights. Amazon's upcoming TV series, meanwhile, relied on a loophole that excluded a TV series of more than 8 episodes being included with Zaentz rights. Final ownership still lay with the Saul Zaentz Company and covered, quote, a vast intellectual property catalog and worldwide rights to motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, and stage productions relating to the iconic fantasy literary works, The Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, or it did until now. The Saul Zaentz Company floated the sale of their rights earlier this year for an eye-popping $2 billion, and while Embracer's purchase price wasn't disclosed in the announcement, you'd assume the price they paid would be somewhere in that ballpark. Update, in a separate announcement, Embracer said the total cost for all acquisition they made today was SEK 8.2 billion, which is around 770 million US dollars. Way less than what they were hoping for. Okay. As the announcement says, the purchase covers pretty much everything you'd associate with Lord of the Rings beyond the publishing of the books themselves, including, quote, key upcoming works set in Middle-earth, in which Middle-earth Enterprises has financial interests, include the much heralded Amazon series The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, which will premiere on September 2nd, 2022, set thousands of years before The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, the animated movie The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, set for release in 2024, and the mobile game The Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. Note that by purchasing Middle-earth Enterprises itself, Embracer doesn't necessarily need to go cancel or reassign any existing Lord of the Rings rights agreements. Warner Brothers has held the motion picture license since 1990s. For example, that's how the Peter Jackson trilogy was made. And the upcoming anime is clearly unaffected since it's specially highlighted in Embracer's announcement. As for what Embracer might want to do with the license in the future, that's spelled out in the press release as well. Quote, other opportunities include exploring additional movies based on iconic characters such as Gandalf, Aragorn, Gollum, Galadriel, Ewan, Connor, Owen, Ewan,
Eowyn.
Eowyn.
The Princess of Rohirrim.
Oh, good. Awesome. So
go.
glad you know that. And other characters from the literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien. And continue to provide new opportunities for fans to explore his fictive world through merchandising and other experiences. Fictive is a word? I love this podcast because it can just show us how big of idiots that we are. Anyways.
What that word mean?
With Embracer owning both a ton of video game studios and also a board game company, Asmodee, who in turn own Fantasy Flight, you can expect a lot of licensed games to follow suit as well. Note that Asmodee already owned the Lord of the Rings license for board games. Of course, it wouldn't be an Embracer announcement without news that, alongside Middle-earth Enterprise purchase, the company also bought a bunch of other stuff today, including physical copy specialist limited run games, Tripwire Interactive, known for Killing Floor and Chivalry, Tuxedo Labs, known for Teardown, and in a bizarrely poetic move given the buyers in question, Japanese studio Tatsujin. Their boss is Masahiro Yugi, a co-founder of Toplin, the developers of Zero Wing, the game from which we all got, quote, all your base belongs to us meme.
A lot of stuff.
Let me tell you what, that's Embracer's a little scary now. they're
getting
a little scary because what was it the other week that they had purchased that we went, oh shit, that's crazy. Or I guess it was a few months ago now at this point. Oof, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Something.
Yeah, I remembered it when this story popped. I remember what they had purchased, but they had Tomb Raider. They got Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And Crystal Dynamics and all of them. Yeah, from Square Enix. They had just picked up all those Square Enix studios, which is fucking frightening as fuck. Yeah, so now, Connor, you are the Lord of the Rings fan. You are the Hobbit super fan. You love those Hobbit movies more than anything else in the world.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't do that.
No, I'm gonna do it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Good. Anyways, Connor, how do you feel about all of this?
I'm finally happy to get more Lord of the Rings stuff because it's a pretty untapped marketplace, and there's lots of ideas you can toss around with it because it's such a, it's like Star Wars. It's a big universe. It's, has a bunch of plot lines that could be discovered and delved into. So I'm pretty happy about that. My issue is I don't want it to become this big milked franchise now that, maybe games are going to be actually come out now. So I think we might see a little bit of a dip in quality in terms of some of the things that we
You don't think that Gollum game was
No, it doesn't
a dip in quality?
That's a good example. It's like, oh well, are they just going to start coming out the conveyor belt with this kind of stuff because it is just such a popular franchise that they know they can pretty much guaranteed get buys just by releasing games with the Lord of the Rings title on it. Going back to Embracer Group, I don't know what this, like, obviously I'm not the biggest fan of just one group consolidating the entire market, but thankfully right now video games seem to be very diverse in who owns what, but that's still kind of lessening more and more and more. More things are being bought up every single day, like they just announced. So my excitement for Lord of the Rings stuff is kind of outweighed by potential pitfalls that can come with Embracer Group getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and other companies out there also purchasing video game studios like crazy. So, it's nice, but there's a pretty big grain of salt with all of it. It's kind of my overall thoughts on it. Don't know if you feel any differently.
I don't think anything really changes here. I think this all runs exactly the same. You might get more content outside of movies and television, but I think so like we might get more games, sure. We might get more board games, sure. That makes sense. Or basically anything other than a book. But like movies and TV, like we've got the TV show coming, we've got other linear entertainment mediums coming, like in all that forms. In terms of video games specifically, I'm gonna predict right now that Gollum game gets canceled. And then alongside that, anything and everything else. I mean, they say like, the way that the rights are all spelled out and stuff, it doesn't look like much is changing, but like you see it all the time where like new CEO enters and then like a bunch of things get canceled, a bunch of employees get fired or terminated or move on or something like this. So, we've got new owners now in terms of Lord of the Rings. So it's like, what do you want your portfolio to include? And I imagine we don't see anything coming from this for a little while. Obviously, the Rings of Power show is about to drop whenever that fucking drops. I'm getting ads for it constantly, even though I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah, so have I, but yeah, I can't remember when it's coming out.
Yeah, so that's coming soon, and then who knows? We're getting other stuff, but I think something that's interesting here is Embracer's quote about exploring movie ideas of Gandalf and Aragorn and stuff. Movie ideas. This video game publisher, so sort of a blending of what's what in terms of publication and stuff. And you see other ventures in that as well. Kojima's out here sponsoring, Guillermo del Toro projects left and right, and just dipping their toe into that market as well. So we're seeing video games as an industry become more than just video games. And of course, like it kind of always was with Sony and Microsoft being in the picture. So like hardware and Sony having so much cross promotion between their games and movie departments, sort of, I guess you could call it cross promotion with like the Ratchet and Clank movie, and then the spin-off remake game thing that they put out alongside that. And then of course like every video game license or movie licensed video game that came out in the dark times. So I don't know. Would I like to see more Lord of the Rings? I guess, but like, when's the last time a good Lord of the Rings game came out? I mean, you could point to Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, but I would argue it being Lord of the Rings did not make that game good. The systems and the gameplay of it did, which like you would argue that's the core of. Yeah, but you can put the feather in your cap that it was a good Lord of the Rings game. So good, congratulations, good for you. But it's like it being Lord of the Rings didn't make that game better by any means. Whereas like I think of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is an okay game, but it being a Star Wars game made it so much better, and so much more interesting. And so, I don't know. As we move along and as we move into it, we'll see. But I imagine Lord of the Rings properties now and Lord of the Rings properties 10 years from now is going to look pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't mind that. Be
Sure.
an optimal outcome.
Sure. We definitely will find out. Connor, moving on to our third story of the game and my second penny. Stop it. Oh, God. What is going on here? Hello? What do I have? I've got like I'm broken. I'm
Your
broken,
audio or
Connor.
your video?
On my thing. Here we go. On my article. There we go. I clicked out of it. Okay.
Oh.
Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties like we described. Here we go. All right. Connor, Pulling from Marvel's website specifically, tune in to Disney and Marvel Games Showcase on September 9th, streaming live from D23 and Expo 2022, hosted by Kinda Funny's Blessing Adeoye Jr., featuring reveals, announcements, and trailers for new and upcoming games. Live from D23 Expo, presented by Visa, Disney is streaming the Disney and Marvel Games Showcase to fans worldwide on Friday, September 9th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Tune into the showcase hosted by Kinda Funny Blessing Adeoye Jr. The digital showcase will feature incredible new content from Disney and Pixar games, Marvel games, Lucasfilm games, and 20th Century games, in addition to all new announcements. Fans can expect new reveals from titles including Disney Dreamlight Valley, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and a sneak peek at the upcoming Marvel Ensemble game from Skydance New Media. The Disney and Marvel Games Showcase will be streamed live from D23 and Expo 2022, and available to watch on a variety of platforms. Fans attending D23 Expo 2022 in person will be able to watch the showcase live on the premiere stage, with a presentation following the live stream featuring developer interviews, special guests, and exclusive giveaways. If you're interested in co-streaming Disney and Marvel Games Showcase with us on Twitch, here's how to get involved, and you can discover all that on your own. But Connor, Disney, Marvel Games, the big giant showcase thing, they're busting out all the stops here. We got Pixar, we got Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century, new and old. We got what can we expect here, my man? What are you thinking? What do you think? What's nipping at your heels, man? What gets you good guy?
I'm gonna be honest, Tab. When I was looking at this story, I was struggling to think of like anything that I'm like, man, this could come out, and I'd be super happy if it did. I mean, I guess it would be nice to see a Last Jedi, Fallen Order type stuff, or Survivor.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor. I'd like to see some gameplay from that, see what kind of things have improved. I could see them releasing it, but I can also see them not, because they only did that teaser trailer recently, and that wasn't too long ago, so I don't know if they'd have that much to show us in between that time.
Set to come early next year, so time's a ticking.
I guess we'll see. But other than that, honestly, I would just like to see new reveals, is my baseline. Things that I hadn't seen before, and I guess maybe some kind of. I know you don't want it, but I could see another. I could get myself behind a good Star Wars RPG, maybe one not in the vein of. Yeah, I know you're.
Why would I not want it? Why would I not want what?
I thought you said you wanted like other ones more.
I don't want character action games anymore. I don't want the adventure games anymore. I don't want the I don't want it to play like Uncharted or a first person shooter. I want us to explore genre.
Okay, then maybe something like that will come along. But nothing really I can think of from the machinations of my mind.
What machinations they are? No, I think Jedi Survivor is a shoo-in. I'm surprised they didn't just straight up announce it here. In terms of things that already exist, I don't even know what is it called? Disney Dreamlight? No idea. Marvel's Midnight Suns, I don't imagine you get anything crazy from that. Probably just more gameplay, more or another cool trailer or something. But I'm starting to see too much from Midnight Suns. I'm just ready for that game, even though it just got delayed to next year.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. DLC pack, probably. Maybe some voice lines for the DLC characters we already have would be nice. Maybe we get like a Rogue One episode. You know what I'm talking about? Or something like that. Something that we can like dig our teeth into gameplay wise. Or maybe we just play around and have like what if spin-off things or something new and cool with that. Or like, we have like a little Lego mission where the battle on Mustafar with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it's Anakin's perspective, and Anakin wins, and we get an alternate ending or something. I don't know, something fun. We have some fun with it. That could be anything or anything. Those are just ideas that can come to my mind. So any type of Star Wars Skywalker Saga DLC would be appreciated. Now, as we dig deeper into that with Lucasfilm games and Marvel games, even Pixar games, man, like, I mean, there's a chance. I don't think Square Enix would do this, but there's a chance we get something from Kingdom Hearts 4 here. which would be interesting to maybe like some Toy Story stuff or something. I don't know. Maybe we get a
I
Toy
love
Story
Toy
game. Who
Story.
knows? Toy Story's great. Don't you sleep on Toy Story, Connor. What are you doing over here, buddy? Come on.
Oh, I
now,
never
son.
said anything insulting about it. I just said I love Toy Story.
Nah, you were giving your sass. You were giving your sass. You know that. Anyways,
Fucking nonsense.
just shut the how dare you? How fucking dare you? Anyways, Marvel games could be anything and everything. They're talking the premiere of that sneak peek at the upcoming Marvel ensemble game from Skydance New Media. This is the Laura Henning studio and that's doing a Marvel game, a Star Wars game, and I think a VR game somewhere in there.
Who knows what they're gonna pop up with?
Yeah, who knows what they're doing. Ensemble game. They're obviously not going to do Avengers. They're obviously not going to do Guardians of the Galaxy. That just happened. So then you sit back and you look and you go, X-Men? Maybe some X-Men? Maybe some Fantastic Four? Family dynamics? You know, I'm thinking Laura Henning writing. She's good about the quotes and the having characters bounce off of each other and so forth. She could be, you know, if anything, I could probably see a Fantastic Four game out of that. That would make a lot of sense for me. Personally,
always are
something that
pushing that
hasn't been explored. We don't see the Fantastic Four in anything ever, even though they're, you know, and in terms of comic books, they're an A tier level IP. And then, you know, moving on into that, like we probably see that Indiana Jones game from Machine Gun Games, I would assume.
That would be nice. Actually.
Seems about time. It's been over a year since that got announced.
Mm-hmm.
Year and a half.
Who
now?
knows how long it was ahead of production when they announced it? So yeah, that could be one.
So you know, I can see a
of
trailer or something from that just to know what's happening. And then other Marvel games. Do you see the Insomniac games from here? Do you think Spider-Man 2, Wolverine? You don't think so?
I think it's a
go ahead.
Big no.
Pretty
confident no.
I think I agree with you. I think Sony would want to keep all of that in-house themselves for their big, you know, probably late September showcase that I assume they're going to plan because that's what they usually do. And then keep that, you know, alongside so that they can have headlines of Spider-Man 2. They can have headlines of Ghost of Tsushima 2. They can have headlines of new God of War Ragnarok gameplay, or here's what Naughty Dog is doing with Last of Us Factions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I assume you keep that in-house for them. But everything else, there's a wide breadth of stuff here, and hopefully more of it is interesting than not. Shout out to Blessing Adeoyo Jr. for getting his first major thing. I remember when Kind of Funny hired him a few years ago, and I was like, oh man, this guy's kind of cool. I like this guy. So to see him being able to step up into the big leagues and really get his feet wet in the industry in that way is inspiring. Shout out to you, Blessing. Good luck. Good luck. Connor, speaking of Marvel games, where is it? Hold on. I gotta figure out where all my stuff is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Come on, man. Look at me.
Connor, speaking of Marvel games, moving on. Final topic of the day, your second penny of the day. Marvel canceled an open world game from Iron Man. I totally flubbed that. I feel like I'm dyslexic today, bro. Marvel canceled an open world Iron Man game from the studio behind Just Cause. This is by Logan Plant over at IGN. Avalanche Studios, the team behind the Just Cause series, was apparently working on an Iron Man game for multiple years before Marvel and Disney pulled the plug on the project. In an interview with MinMax, Avalanche Studios co-founder Christopher Sundberg said the game, quote, was in development for a couple of years before it was ultimately canceled around 2012. It would have been an open world game where Connor, look up real quick, when was Just Cause 4 released? That was like a 2016 game? 2017? Before it was canceled around 2012. It would have been 2018. It would have been an open world game where Sundberg said you'd be able to, quote, take off and just fly anywhere. Sundberg also mentioned the ability to punch enemies through walls with Iron Man's repulsor gloves. In this clip from MinMax interviews, Avalanche Studios co-founder Christopher... Oh, this is from MinMax's own thing. Okay. The Just Cause games are chaotic open world romps. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm just reading ahead. We don't need any more. We got the news. 2012 Iron Man game, Just Cause Studio, Avalanche. Connor, I mean, this is a shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also don't think it's that big of a shame.
Are you talking about Avengers?
I mean, you're looking at
putting it onto this?
2012, man. Like, when did Arkham Asylum come out? 2008? 2009? Arkham? No,
2009, I would
2000
say.
or 2007. Because Arkham City was
No.
2010? 2011?
Oh, maybe Arkham Asylum.
I think it was a 2008 game.
It's a 2009 game.
2009. I mean, you know, you're still looking at
No,
a
that's
PS.
Arkham City. Why'd you?
To Arkham
Silence.
City was 2009. Anyways,
Why is it? Yeah.
in Iron Man 2012, like, you're looking at like PS3 generation technology there. Like, that's not what we want with the ability to fly around and stuff. Like, if I heard that this got canceled today, I'd be really upset. I'd be like, damn, the Just Cause guys, like, they really understand like some traversal and explosions and blowing stuff up and how to make a really fun video game. To center that around the idea of being Iron Man and flying around and blasting through bad guys, like the article states, I think that would have been a real, joy. But 2012, which I guess would make sense as to why they then pivot to Just Cause 4. When did Just Cause 3 come out? But yeah, the 2012, 2015. Oh, okay. So then to pivot to Just Cause 3 and then Just Cause 4, like, all of that makes sense now. But it's kind of a mixed bag, but I would have really liked to have seen what that would have been. I think that would have been not a great phenomenal game, but it would have been a solid game that was a lot of fun to play. Probably like some nonsense and some what is the word? Like jank. Probably a little bit of jank. But I think overall it would have been a fun game. So it's kind of unfortunate to see that we just never got that.
Yeah, I'm upset that so many workers just had their project just axed, gone all of a sudden.
Yeah, because they put some years into that. That's not a small amount of time.
Yeah, it wasn't not the best situation all in all. Because I mean, what would have been the harm in that game actually seeing the light of day? I mean, are you going to complain about having a Iron Man game? It's not really a oversaturated market.
Well, also like 2012, you're coming off of the Iron Man movie tie-in game, which was not good. That's a 2008 game. So for just 4 years after that, like, we've got a couple of cool Batman games, sure, but like, in terms of video games, superheroes not taking off just yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we've got a couple more under our belt with Spider-Man, and we've got Spider-Man Miles Morales and Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers and a few other titles, the Telltale games and so forth. So like, it kind of makes sense then, or it kind of makes sense now. But back then, I can see that that's more of a risk reward. So, and also we don't have the conglomerate of Marvel games. It was just Marvel and Disney, and then they, reshaped themselves into Marvel games after that. I think if this were to go around now, I think we would have gotten this game. Back then, this makes sense. But it's still kind of like a, damn, we could have had an Iron Man game type feeling.
Maybe a great one.
Maybe even a great one. Probably not, but you never know. Connor, time to move on into our What We've Been Playing segment. Now, Connor, I haven't had a lot of time to play games because I've been moving. But I did manage to squeeze in some more Cult of the Lamb. Where's mine? I don't know where this is. Hold on, I gotta play the video. Cult of the Lamb. And I'm still having a great time with it. Let me tell you what. I've gotten quite a bit further into it. I'm now deep into the systems. There's still some stuff that they haven't shown me yet, but I'm pretty deep in now. I've crossed double-digit territory in terms of hours. I've gone through multiple generations of cultists because they're starting to die off. You, my friend Connor, my dear friend, my first cultist, you died. It was tragic. You died of old age. You died bravely. I couldn't find your body. It disappeared. I don't know where it went. Glitched. It was just gone.
You know what? I'm happier with that end.
I was going to bury you. I wasn't going to chop you. Like, who was it? There's a guy named Matt. I had a guy named Matt, a coworker of mine, chopped him up into little pieces when he died. Chopped him up and fucking served him up to everybody else. Glenn, sacrificed to the devil. I was going to honor you. I was going to bury you. I was going to build you a gravestone. Couldn't do that. I was robbed of that opportunity. But it's fine because I resurrected you. You're now, you're walking amongst us, young, fresh, full of vigor at the nice age of like 54.
Nice. Oh, you couldn't resurrect me earlier than that?
No, they just picked you right back up, and it's like you literally popped out the grave and just kept going, and you were just rocking it. So now, you're my main man right now, Connor. You're still my main man. And it's just funny that what's happened now is like I've chopped up a few and fed them to others. So now when people get old, I see the other cultists start crowding around the old ones. Like, ooh, you're old. That means your lunch here soon. One of these days, not right now, but soon, your lunch. Which is really weird. Animals. They are fucking animals. Let me tell you what. Literally. And then I've had. The cultist who represented my dad didn't trust my little sister and just kept saying, hey man, that one over there, we can't trust her. Don't trust that one. Eventually he was straight up like, hey, can you just like kill her? Just kill her. I don't care how, just get it done. So I killed my sister, sacrificed her to the devil as well.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
So was he right then?
I don't know.
He like all the bad things he probably had to say about her were true?
No idea. He wanted it to happen, and I said, okay. So I did it.
And let me guess, you told your sister, didn't you?
Absolutely, I did. I told the whole family, and they were all they were rolling it with in the family group chat. They were rolling around with it, texting, having a blast out of it. I've hit not a difficulty wall, but the game is harder now. I've got to try now.
No button mashing.
No more button mashing. Not for me. No. It's much more planned attacks. Much more, strategizing your rolls and stuff. I think there's an element of it in the roguelike sense to where it's like, oh, I have enough upgrades in this crusade, in this run, to where I know I'm gonna make it. And then there's an element of it's just binary. It's I'm gonna make it or I'm not gonna make it. It feels like it doesn't feel like my personal skill has too much to do with it. I mean a little bit, just because like man, my rolling game is out of this world right now. But like sometimes it is like I don't have enough power. I just don't feel like I'm powerful enough to do this. So I know I'm not gonna make it, and then I don't make it. Maybe it's in my head, but that's just how I feel while playing the game. But yeah, just in general, this is a great game. It's still great. I'm enjoying every minute of it. It's not in the game of the year conversation, but it could be in some people's, but it's not in mine. But it is going to rank high in my final list by the end of the year.
Well, we'll see if you actually back up those words.
And the more I play it, the more I like it. So there's that.
Which is always a good sign.
Always a good sign. Yeah. Cult of the Lamb, definitely. Are you gonna give this one a shot, my man?
I've been thinking about it. I have so many other things.
You've been itching. So many things, Connor. Connor, talk to me about these other things, my friend. What else have you been playing, good sir?
Aside from Chrono Trigger, I've been trying to play Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm trying to get through it really quickly so I can play 3, because I actually kind of all of a sudden got the itch to play it. I heard a lot of good things about it. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go into that. But I got to hit the first one first. Besides that, the only thing I'm going to talk about today is recently I stayed at an Airbnb, and at the Airbnb there were arcade cabinets. A bunch of different games were on display.
Really, that's sick as fuck.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. A lot of them the best one, as it turns out.
I'm so jealous I couldn't go now because I didn't know that. That's so
Yeah.
I couldn't go because I was busy moving, and I was like, I can't. Yep. Like I'm gonna be in a different city.
Yep. Well, it was most of the games themselves. There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There was Mortal Kombat. Those were the big ones. But the one that I got attached to was NBA Jam, which I never expected to like NBA Jam or play it, but I did, and it actually turned out to be like one of the better gaming experiences I've ever had in a while.
People have affinity for that NBA Jam, man. Let me tell you.
I get it now. I get it because so the way the game works is it's 3 buttons. Besides the controls, 4-way controls to go around the court, you have one button that does shoot, so you shoot the basket, and the other one that passes to the CPU that you have on your team or the player that you're playing with, because generally it goes up to 4 players, 2 on each team. But if you can just do 1 on one team and 1 on the other, and it'll be replaced by a computer, which the computer itself actually does a really good job at being your teammate. So even if there was like a situation where someone had a teammate that was an actual player, the other person would do fine because their CPU is just good. But going back to the buttons, you shoot to shoot baskets, you pass to your CPU guy. But you can also use the shoot button to jump up and block goals, block shots. So you can try and get the ball back from somebody who's trying to make a good shot on you. The other thing that the pass button also does is steal. So you can steal someone's ball when they're dribbling in front of you, when you're guarding them and whatnot. There might be more intricate controls, but I kind of only got a really rushed tutorial on how to play the game. But even then, it was enough for me to get, what I thought was pretty decent at the game. I mean, I played 2 games, and both of them were neck and neck the entire time. It was riveting from beginning to end. Never was there like a time where I was just sitting pretty and could just take it easy and I was just, styling on my opponent. I was always having to work for it. And it felt satisfying to run around the map and make those shots and do those layups, dunk on the the other button is turbo, which seems to be allowing you to run. I'm not quite certain about that. Like I said, only got a crash course on how to play the game, but I know that you could use that and shoot in tandem to do the dunks that I was talking about, which could, dunks are always cool. So
we do like some dunking.
Yeah. But it's fast paced. You're going across the court constantly, back and forth. You're making shots. It's getting blocked. You're blocking shots. It's a really dynamic game, and it's very intuitive. So even though it's not a game I played before, I was picking it up and, like I said, playing well against people that I think had played the game before. If they hadn't, they also got in tune with the controls really quickly, which allowed us to have these really cool matches. One of the other really cool things it does as well, since I only played one-on-one with people, but with the computer, you actually have some modicum of control of what they do. So, for example, if you pass the ball to the CPU, they'll automatically just try to go for the basket. But you can get them to shoot by pressing the shoot button, even if you don't have the ball. And you could also get them to steal. You can also get them to pass back to you using the pass button. So you can kind of somewhat control your CPU and the moves they do to, give you an up on your opponent. So CPU management is already another aspect of the game that takes the place of another teammate that you could possibly have to make a even more fun experience, because you now have that other thing that you can always pull out of your back pocket and surprise your opponent with. But they can do the same thing to you. So it's just a really solid game. I'm going to download it on my PC because apparently it's very easy to get it, and that's a game I can easily pick up and play with people just because of how fun and intuitive it is.
There you go.
And energetic it is. It's a great game. I
NBA Jam,
still better games.
NBA Jam, still a jam.
There
we are. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Two Penny Gamescast. As Connor mentioned, we're playing Chrono Trigger in the background. Keep up with that, ladies and gentlemen, because I believe September 5th is the episode. Yes, the September 5th episode. So we have 2 more episodes for everybody to get along. Oh, God, I got to start putting pedal to the metal on that, don't I? I'm behind. So play along with us, Chrono Trigger, for our Two Penny Game Club, sort of our video game book club that we put on for the first Monday of every month. So keep an eye on that for September 5th. But other than that, that is the end of the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 109. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Remember, you can catch us Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, and mainstream podcast services of your choice. Catch us live over at twitch.tv/2pennygames, and subscribe to our TikTok. But until next time, have a great time. And Connor, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
Hello, Connor. HBO just put out a small little promo clip of The Last of Us inside of like one of their promotion clips for one of their trailers or whatever. So it's got like a bunch of clips for like Game of Thrones and Billion or whatever it's called. All of their shows, it's all in one. I have found just a quick breakout of the 28-second clip of The Last of Us, and I thought as a fun little bonus penny here, I thought I would insert it into the podcast and break it out as its own video. and have us sort of react to it and then give our thoughts on it. Now, I've seen it, so it'll be more of a raw reaction from you. I've already got my thoughts on it, and then so here, let's go ahead and play it real quick.
Yeah.
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me.
You have no idea what loss is.
There it is. Nice, short, and sweet right there.
That's a teaser trailer.
That's a teaser right there. Connor, did anything stand out to you right there?
The somewhat generic dialogue.
Generic
You have no
dialogue?
idea
What does that mean?
Loss is. Like, well, it's like.
Connor, we just
drama
played The Last
101.
of Us. Those are direct lines from the game.
Is that
Yes. You have no
I never
idea
remember that line.
what loss is. That's exactly how Joy like that. Those are
When
the
did he say
exact.
that?
Huh?
When did he say that?
He says that. I think that whole all of those lines are lifted from the scene where Ellie runs away to the little random house, and then they have their argument. You are skating on mighty thin ice here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I guess the actual issue then in that case is it's kind of
Connor,
separated
Connor,
in a very
Connor,
localized spot
Connor.
to sound bad.
Believe it or
Like,
not, The Last of Us is generic. It's just executed on very well. Like,
Really?
I don't know what to tell you, man. That's The Last of Us.
It just seems like a weird line to do out of context, out of all the things you could have chosen.
Nah, the
When
line-
anyone who doesn't
nah,
know about
her-
that
her-
wouldn't really be drawn to it. Because it's just kind of like
Interesting.
on its own. I get you saying it's like generic. You're right, but it seems like when you localize that on its own, it doesn't really, hype me up for more.
No.
You know.
Yeah, see, that's the scene right there. You have no idea what loss is. It looks like the same bedroom and everything. Yeah, right there. Now, right here, they're running. She's being carried. Is that Ellie or is that his daughter? This is probably his daughter.
Yeah, because the fire in the background running
Yeah.
into the alley.
It's just that wow, they found a girl who just looks a lot like our girl who's playing Ellie. Okay, so which I guess is the point. She's supposed to look very similar. So here, we don't have a lot here, so let's see what we can nab out of here. So here we go. We got winter, but both of them in winter. So I mean, I guess this could be anything, any individual scene or anything.
Maybe
to set
head in that direction.
Set our where?
Heading to Tommy's because you kind of go in. I can see them doing kind of like a weather change. I know it's not snowing in the game,
Yeah,
but it's still kind of a colder vibe to
they
it.
decided to do that. I was thinking to the campus in Salt Lake City, not Salt Lake City,
okay.
to the fuck, what campus did they go to? What college did they go to? I forget. And then here, I like this scene here of teaching her how to hold a gun for the first time, or how to shoot a gun properly or stuff. This is something that's not in the original game that I could see them sort of expanding on that moment. Maybe they've changed that moment entirely because that moment is rooted in gameplay, and so maybe there becomes a moment. Maybe she takes her first life in the same way, and then when they get out of the situation and slow down, he then apologizes for lashing out at her or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
And then goes, here, let me teach you how, because this is not a toy. Let me teach you how to do this properly.
Yeah, because in the game she just picks up the gun and is good with it for gameplay reasons. Because you can't just have a weird slow progression from bad shooting to good shooting.
Exactly. And then that the gun he gives her in the game, the full rifle, that's too much for a 14-year-old to use effectively. So I think they changed that moment for narrative reasons and then recreate it in a way that makes more sense for the show that they're building here. This is the argument in the house. Knife. I don't remember anything about a knife.
She has a knife and she has it out a lot.
Yeah.
So it could be anything.
I think this is probably her heavy clothes. So she's probably what? She's probably running from, what's his name? Nolan North's character. David?
Yeah.
Probably running from David and his men here. Yeah, that
What
yeah.
is
All right,
Bill?
This is probably them leaving Bill's town. Shot of Bill. Who's this guy? We know this
It's
guy.
Patton Oswalt? No, Patton Oswalt. What was his what's his name?
Isn't he from like Parks and Rec?
Yeah, he's the guy. Ron Swanson. I can't remember what his name.
What the
actor's name is.
fuck? What a crazy casting! I did not know he was in this.
Yeah. People were kind of happy about that.
He looks good.
Yeah,
He looks good.
He does.
I hope he can. Well, I could see him flipping that switch and going this route. Yeah,
he
that makes
has
sense.
before, to my understanding. So he probably do good.
I've only ever seen him in Parks and Rec, so that was cool. Some clicker stuff. Sure, looks good.
Way to tease it.
Yeah.
Not give too much.
And then that's it right there. Connor, I'm satisfied by what I'm seeing here. This is giving me more hope for this show than anything we've seen before.
Sure.
Because we've really only seen like screenshots and stuff, and it looked cheap in all the image stills that we've seen so far. Here, I think it looks good. I like specifically I like the cinematography. I'm excited to see moments be played out by these actors. More dynamic camera range, to just see it in live action, I think is going to add a lot to the story in ways that a game just kind of can't, at least with the level of technology that we're at right now. Even Last of Us Part 1, I don't think is going to be able to deliver upon those same emotional punches that a real life actor can do. And I'm not discrediting Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, because of course they're fucking top tier. They're giving it to us with a bunch of limitations on them. So like they're fantastic, but just being able to see it with these people, I guess in just a more traditional format that we're used to and programmed to seeing, I'm into this.
Yeah, it's a teaser trailer, a TV teaser trailer, which always, those and like ones for movies don't really usually do that much for me, because it's usually just bits of the moment of whatever's going on in the story taken to show there's going to be drama, there's going to be tension, like this does. It's not a bad thing. There's no issue with having teaser trailers. I understand their place.
Yeah.
But and as you said, it does actually show that some of the cheesier things we saw coming out of it are kind of alleviated, because it does look good. Just from the snippets that we've been seeing. But it's I think this is not really something you can use to judge what the show is going to be good or bad, because it's not really. It's taken out of context and it's only short snippets. So
I think this is enough, unless they go really left and make ridiculous changes to the story itself. I think this is enough to say that this will at least be good. It may not be great, but it will be good. And we've got a lot of good creative minds back in here, and we have Neil Druckmann working on it as well, at least in like working in tandem with it and stuff. So I think a lot of that original story and a lot of that original tale is going to be, there's going to be scenes that are altered, but altered in smart ways. So we shall see.
When's it come out? Has it have a release date yet?
All they've told us is next year.
Okay.
This scene where he's running with his daughter, I almost thought was the scene in the hospital at the end, and I was like, why would you show us that? That is not something you show us. But also, like, her being awake, I was like, no, she can't be awake. She can't, because you need that ending. That ending needs to be the same. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our reaction to The Last of Us HBO Max teaser trailer here that they're showing. Or at least the cutout bit of the hype reel that they put out. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and go ahead, like, subscribe for more. This is a snippet out from the Two Penny Gamescast episode 109. So please go check out that full podcast where we talk all about anti-gay modders being banned. We talk about more Cult of the Lamb, and we talk about canceled Iron Man games and all that. So go jump in with that and see all of our thoughts and opinions about that. But until next time, have a great time. Bye.
Bye.